Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So basically I wanted to talk about mental health and more particularly my mental health. Probably about 10 months ago, I'm not sure, I talked about my mental health and I said that I was personally fine. I can't remember exactly what I said, but I've since got an update, and let's just say I'm going to mention the word depression, or more particularly seasonal depression, because I think that seasonal depression affected me, but I also don't know because I only noticed it around like after Christmas. But I'm going to talk about how my mental health has been from a year ago to now, because obviously we went into lockdown like just over a year ago. But basically a year ago I was completely fine. I think I was actually relishing in the fact that I was at home. It was something like, this might sound bad, but I wanted the number of cases to rise so that I could not have to do in-person lessons, but I didn't want people to die, if that makes sense. I just wanted cases to rise just so that I didn't have to go into college, because being in college, like, I was starting to be like, I can't be asked at that point, and I think I'm getting to that point right now. But so a year ago I was fine. First lockdown I was amazing. I uploaded so many like organisation stuff. End of March, April time, my channel was on a rise, so that obviously helped, because obviously any YouTuber wants their subscriber count to go up, and it was increasing by an amount that I'd never seen before, which was just incredible. But so yeah, first lockdown I was fine. Second lockdown, which was like that 1 month thing, again I was fine. I was going back to college in a sense, and I was fine. Like, I was getting on with assignments, I was doing well in them, or any time I would get one back, there was only like a small amount that I would have to amend, which was obviously beneficial, because it's like you don't want to have to like do loads to a resub. I then had December as Vlogmas, so I was being busy with that, and then the new year came and the third lockdown came, and I don't know whether it was because it was winter and the fact that it was getting dark really early. Obviously it'd been getting dark really early before, which isn't nice because I like it being lighter at night, and I think a lot of people do. I love that. I love having it light at like 7 o'clock. It's just incredible. I love that. But obviously January, February, it was lockdown, it was dark, there wasn't anything to do, and I was just in a rut. And yeah, and to start with I thought, oh, it's just like I'm being lazy, or like I'm just not being productive, like I'm not being motivated, like I'm not in a motivated mood. And I thought that for a while, and then I went onto YouTube, and like on my iPad, so you know how the For You page comes out on your iPad, because obviously it's slightly different to mobile, and I was on there, and a video came up that said signs that your laziness is actually depression, and I watched it because it was like, well, I think that I'm lazy, but let's watch this anyway. Let's see whether any apply to me. And I'm pretty sure like all 6 points, or however many points there were, applied to me, whether it be fully or like halfway. And it was just sort of like, okay, maybe it's not me being lazy. Obviously, to a lot of outsiders, it's just going to appear that I'm lazy. But I was thinking, okay, maybe it's a little bit of depression. Like, I wouldn't call it like major depression, but it was like a hint of depression. I wouldn't say a hint, but it was mild depression, in the sense of I just wanted to lie in bed all day and do nothing. And yeah, I was just at that mental headspace where it's like, yeah, no, I don't want to do things. And yeah. And then it was like, what, March came around, and obviously then we came out of lockdown to the extent of we could actually go back to being in person. And actually, that's another point with lessons. I was like, yeah, I can't be bothered. Like, sometimes, like, during lessons, I wouldn't write down all the notes, or I might not even write down the notes, and I tell myself I'd write them later. I don't remember having written down those notes since that point, which is obviously not beneficial, but yeah. And then it got to me being able to go back in person, because I'm sort of like blended learning. So like 1 week I'm in, the next week I'm not. So I didn't go back till like the week of the 15th of March. So it was like halfway through March. And that Monday, being in college felt so good. And it felt so nice to actually physically be with my friends. Because yeah, you can talk to friends online, but physically talking to them, like just being around them, being in their presence, is just incredible. And it's just so nice, and it's so uplifting. And it was after that first day that I was in such a good mood on the Tuesday. I was in such a happier mood. I was in a better mindset. I felt more in a productive mood. I probably wasn't productive, but you know, when you're in that sort of like feeling of productive, like that's what it was. That's what I was in. And then I went on the Wednesday, and again, that was just as incredible. And then I had a week back at home, and I think I was a bit better, but I just couldn't wait to see my friends again in person. And then that second week came back, which was the week before April half term. And again, I absolutely loved it. I was with my friends, and I was socialising, and I was just loving it. And obviously right at the end of March, clocks changed as well, so it's lighter, and it's just, I don't know whether it's actually like seasonal depression or whether it was just depression, but I've sort of more come to the realisation more recently that even though I'm an introvert, this lockdown, like this third lockdown especially, I feel like has made me want to be more extroverted, and it's made my mind want to be more social and want to be around people. Like, I love being alone. I loved being a lone wolf, like during my first year of college, where I was on like my GCSE pathway year. But I think I was able to do that because I still had human interaction. I still had conversations with classmates, but I wasn't friends with them. So I think for me, lockdown has made me want people around more. Like, not exactly like spending loads more time with family, but more with like people my own age, like spending more time with my friends. I honestly feel tempted to like stick in the group chat which like pub garden are we going to on Monday. Like, I almost want that because in a way I've been denied that. Like, before COVID became known about, I'd only just turned 18. None of my friends were 18, so couldn't legally come out with me. And also it just wasn't something I wanted. And the thing is clubbing, I know they say don't knock it till you try it, but I don't think clubbing's my scene. I'm more of a chill, like pub, beer garden type thing. I'm genuinely that type of person, and so I cannot wait to be able to do that. And I'm genuinely just gonna spend probably like savings, just like transfer money out of savings, just so that I can go out. Like, I want that like experience. And also being in the same class, we're a bubble, so yeah. But also they say you can as well, so I'm literally tempted to be like, which beer garden are we going to? And so yeah, but yeah, like, I think to start with, after Christmas, I probably was lazy, but I think somewhere it started to blend into depression, and eventually it became depression because it was, my mind was like, I know I should do something and I sort of want to, but I can't, like, I'm not in the right mental headspace. And often, like, even in like the first lockdown, like, even if I was lazy, I'd still have like a productive day like a week later. But I wasn't having that. I didn't have a productive day in January or February. I might have had a productive 10 minutes where I've had like that slight high, but I wasn't productive. And that's what, I guess it's what sort of made me start to think, is this depression? Could it just be seasonal depression? But honestly, I don't know. And I don't know whether it's now because I'm all just sort of like fed up of everything and I just want things to go back to normal, in the sense of like I can socialise with people more. And I think at uni I might do well because I'll be around more people. But I also think, could uni send me like over the edge, in the sense of I now need to be alone for like a week? I don't know. But yeah. And I'm saying it's probably only mild because it wasn't getting me to the point where I was like really, really bad. Like, I was like, my appetite was still normal, but it was just more in terms of like workload and school, and even just doing like cleaning the kitchen. Granted, I've got fed up with cleaning it every day, so yeah. But even just doing that, it was like, now I'm like, no, I don't want to do this. And yeah, honestly, it could have just been laziness, but even if I've been lazy, still had I've typically still would have had like the odd day where I've been in a productive mood. But because I never had that, that's what's made my mind think, actually, could it be depression? And now that I'm not around people and I'm not seeing people like in the Easter holidays, I'm now thinking, is my mind going back because now I just don't want to do work, or is this just laziness? And honestly, I just can't wait to go back to talk, like, for my next week where I'm in person, so that I can see people, talk to people, interact with people. And yeah, it's been a little bit of a ramble. I've probably not made any sense in this, and it might not have even been depression, but a lot of the things that I felt lined up with some of the stuff that were like signs that you have depression. And so yeah, but that is how my mental health has been. If you've experienced the same thing, or what, like, let me know how your mental health has been. If, yeah, let me know how your mental health has been, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.